with a 5.7-liter, 492 horsepower V12 engine and a 5-speed manual transmission.
Imagine owning a car so rare and powerful, but daring to drive it could land you in hot water with the law. Why are legendary machines like the Porsche 959 and Lamborghini Strosek Diablo forbidden fruit for US roads? From wild modifications to safety standards no one talks about, these vehicles were deemed too extreme. But here's the twist. Some of them can be imported with very specific restrictions. Curious which ones made the cut and why? Stick around to uncover the secrets behind these banned automotive legends. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine this, a car so ahead of its time that it redefined everything people thought was possible with speed and engineering. That's exactly what the Porsche 959 did when it debuted in the 1980s. This car wasn't just fast, it was a masterpiece of innovation. Porsche packed it with advanced all-wheel drive, aerodynamics designed to cut through air effortlessly, and a twin-turbocharged flat-six engine capable of propelling it to over 190 miles per hour. But here's the problem. Despite its groundbreaking design, the Porsche 959 was never approved for American roads. The issue wasn't with the car's performance, it was with regulations. At the time, US safety requirements demanded that automakers crash test a small number of the cars they planned to sell.
With tremendously complex technology and a 200-mile-an-hour top speed. They were supposedly championed by a group of 959 owners who wanted to drive their 959s on US soil, reportedly including Bill Gates. Porsche needed an all-wheel drive system, since all 911 models at the time were rear-wheel drive. But
for Porsche, this meant sacrificing several 959s. For a car priced well above $200,000 in the 1980s, equivalent to almost $600,000 today, losing even a single unit was a major hit. Destroying 4, completely impractical. Porsche decided it wasn't worth jumping through the regulatory hoops, so the 959 never officially made it stateside. Enthusiasts were left frustrated, knowing this engineering marvel was just out of reach. Fast forward to the late 1990s, when a glimmer of hope appeared with the introduction of the show or display rule. This regulation allowed certain historically or technologically significant cars to be imported under strict conditions. Owners could showcase the cars at events, but were capped at driving them just 2,500 miles per year. For the Porsche 959, this meant a small number finally arrived in the US. However, the restrictions made them unobtainable for all but the most dedicated and wealthiest collectors. What's interesting is that the same rules designed to protect drivers often end up excluding vehicles that push the limits of innovation. The 959, for instance, influenced generations of supercars with its cutting-edge technology, even if Americans couldn't own one at the time. And it wasn't alone. Cars like the Jaguar XJ220S also face similar fates. But before we dive into another tale of a record-breaking car kept off US roads, let's look at what happens when modifications go so far that even approved cars get kicked off the list.
Porsche didn't just want to make an all-wheel drive 911, they wanted to make an all-wheel drive supercar. They succeeded, but by the time the car finally came to market in 1986, Group B rally racing was done. It was over, and they weren't doing it anymore. Start the quirks and features of the 959 right here with the door handle. You open up the door by pulling on this little latch inside the door handle. It makes this incredibly satisfying click sound. It is a little release. When you pull it, it opens the engine cover in back. So we pull it.
Can you think of a car so modified, so outlandish that it's been banned outright for American roads? Enter the Lamborghini Strosek Diablo, a rare creation born from the mind of German tuner Victoria Strosek. This wasn't just a tweaked Lamborghini Diablo, it was an entirely reimagined vehicle. From its striking aerodynamic body kit to its restructured lighting system, it looked as though it had been pulled straight from a futuristic movie. But its extreme makeover came at a cost. US safety and lighting regulations didn't just frown upon the Strosek Diablo, they outright deemed it illegal. The issue lay in the details. For starters, the car's redesigned headlights were a visual focal point.
This is an exceptionally clean 94 Diablo. It is without a doubt collector quality. Lamborghini Dallas proudly presents this all-original 1994 Lamborghini Diablo VT.
But they became its Achilles heel. U.S. federal regulations enforce strict standards on how headlights must be placed, how bright they can be, and even their beam patterns. The Strosek Diablo's altered lighting didn't meet any of these standards. It wasn't just a design choice, it became a compliance nightmare. Beyond the lights, its radical new body kit changed the car's safety profile, eliminating features that would otherwise allow it to pass necessary crash safety tests. These deviations turned what could have been a legal supercar into a rule-breaking outlaw. While the Strosek Diablo's futuristic features made it a dream for car enthusiasts, federal regulators couldn't overlook the gaps in compliance. U.S. law requires specific testing and certifications for modifications, especially those involving safety equipment, and the Strosek Diablo strayed far outside the lines. Adding to the complexity was the fact that it couldn't be classified under the original Lamborghini certifications either.
Lamborghini Dallas proudly presents this all-original 1994 Lamborghini Diablo VT. Great service history and stunning condition, and 9,000 original miles. Features large rear wing, AM/FM stereo. Equipped with a 5.7-liter, 492 horsepower V12 engine and a 5-speed manual transmission.
By pushing design boundaries, the Strosek Diablo essentially bypassed the rule book altogether. Despite the ban-crushing importers' hopes, the Strosek Diablo has become a testament to unrestrained automotive ambition. Fans still admire it as an icon of bold creativity. And the irony? While designs like this were barred for safety reasons, other banned cars, such as the Land Rover Defender, were tools of durability used even by the US military. Banned cars often represent more than just vehicles. They're a glimpse into what's possible when design and engineering break barriers. The Porsche 959, for instance, showcased technology far ahead of its time but found itself excluded due to regulations prioritizing conformity over innovation. Yet, hope isn't entirely lost. Thanks to rules like the 25-year import law, previously unattainable vehicles can now legally make their way to U.S. roads. If you've ever dreamed about owning one of these iconic machines, this rule could be your chance. So, which banned car would you love to see in your driveway? Let us know.